You're listening to the Non-Del Influencers Podcast, brought to you by First Funding. Join host Matt Coles as he delivers powerful conversations to help non-delegated lenders succeed and scale in today's market.
All right, well, welcome back, everyone, to the latest episode of Non-Del Influencer Podcast. Technology got the best of us right there, right, Joe? Joe Wilson, CEO of Social Coach. Thank you for taking the time. I'm sure in your day-to-day life, you've had some technology challenges in the past.
Always. Hey, you know what? And it's funny, it gets the best of us. Even, tech CEOs have these issues. So it's always fun and makes life interesting.
And it makes you feel super calm when you're trying to fix a tech issue and the people that you're trying to tech are texting you, where are you? You're like, everyone just relax. I'm going to come back in. Don't worry about it. So here we are. What an evolution that we're about to go into, right, Joe? So I know that everyone is hot to trot about AI and what this means to their. Take me through what you've seen the evolution of social media look like in a loan officer's world in the time that you've been in it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. In the time I've been doing social media, the evolution of it, how long do you have? I don't know if we have that much time, but
well, I always tell my young sales team that I've been doing this for 25 years. I remember having to go in, walk into an office, quickly scan the room and figure out what connection did we have? Did we go to the same school? Do they have kids? Do they have a dog? And just trying to look at all the pictures and the awards. And now it's all out there for everyone to see.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I think, the average American spends 2.5 hours a day on social media, right? And that's average. I think, most folks in the mortgage business, including you and I, are probably much above that, right? And I think our realtor partners are, any partner that we do business with, any referral source, they are out there getting business online from clients. And we want to be where those referral partners are as lenders, as business people, et cetera, right? We want to be where our clients are, where our referral sources are. It's the same thing as like what you and I did 20 plus years ago, bringing donuts into the realtors' offices, right?
Yeah.
But now you just have to do it in a different format. And it's super stressful because a lot of people don't want to be putting themselves out there online all the time. And you don't always have to do that. But back to your question though, evolution, right? It started out as, hey, let me just post stuff so I can get noticed, right? And hopefully people will know that I'm out there and they'll reach out to me and I can just throw flyers and product information and, my branding and it'll be good. And that was great. And check the box and it was great. And then we moved into like carousels where people wanted more information. So you had to like swipe through and kind of get that more information. But today, what do you do when you open up Instagram or TikTok or Facebook? It's all video. And that's how we're trained now. Our minds, our brains are so short attention span and we're trained to watch video all day long. So now you can't just throw up a flyer and expect anything to happen. You got to do video content. And that's really, really hard for a lot of people.
Video with auto captioning is even more important, right? Isn't it? Because I know when I'm scrolling through, if it doesn't have captions, I'm moving fast, right?
Yeah. And you know what? There's a stat for that too. There's like 70% of people watch social without any sound. So if you don't have the captions on the bottom, you're just silent and people will wipe, just like you said, just wipe right past you.
You better be very good looking so that people are encaptured with you wanting to watch you.
Well, that's the other problem too. And I have that issue as well. It's like no one's want to stop and watch a video for me. Right. And, but they do. And it's interesting. And I think that's a really good point though, that you bring up is that, looks do sell. And if you don't have the looks, you got to make up for other ways. And I think the way that you got to do it is show up consistently on video. People will start to recognize you. But the other half of it is you need to engage with other people's content. That's the half that I think that most people miss when they talk about a social selling strategy or a social sales strategy. Is it's not just throwing content up and hoping people reach out to you. It's engaging with other people's content and being that person that is reaching out to somebody else. And it doesn't have to be in a salesy perspective, but if you want to get business from a realtor and they're posting about an open house that they have, ask a question about that open house or about that house that they have. Allow them to be able to answer questions about their properties or about their products that you can be the way that they get engagement from it as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually, so it's such a good point because I just attended can you believe it? I actually went into an office and did a presentation last week, real life with real people, no computer screens. And the presenter was talking and it's kind of quiet. And I'm like laying up the softball question, hopefully to get the ball rolling with some thought process and some engagement with the speaker. Same thing on social media. Throw out a law ball softball question that says, such a beautiful property, is there room to expand or something like that, right? Something that you know that the realtor is going to be jumping all over. And it's not, and this is very near and dear to my heart. It's not, oh, by the way, this post is from Matt Cole's mortgage broker who's trying to, get this lead. It's like authentically serving up the softball, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and I have a little acronym for it that I even teach my kids, like when they were younger, how to have like not be weird at school. When they're in elementary school, they're in high school now and everything. But like I would always say, like, hey, there's 3 different types of questions that you can ask somebody that will get a good response and make you look great. And it's like CCQ, a compliment, a commonality, or a question. And this is the same thing for engaging comments online, right? Let me compliment you on this listing or the type of dog that you have, right? Or ask you a question about it, or give you like, oh yeah, I live in that neighborhood as well, right? Those types of things are engaging that can solicit a response and start a real conversation.
So what is the role of social, what is the role today that you guys are trying to fill? What's the commonality of what you're trying to get to?
Yeah, with Social Coach, what we're trying to do is help loan officers and real estate agents and any really, real estate professional show up consistently and easily online and in other social formats. So we help post automatically to social media. We have hundreds of different great video scripts that you can record in app with a teleprompter, mess up as much as you want. We've got a full video editing team that all they do all day long is just edit videos, add those dynamic captions, emojis, B-roll, get that video ready for social consumption. Yeah. And then not just posting it, but engaging, but then also sending, because part of a social strategy, Matt, is not just posting on social media, but it's following up the same way that you got that engagement. So sending one-on-one videos, updates about the loan process via text or email, and being able to track those open rates, having a landing page that has the links to your apply now page or, other helpful information. So this kind of like 360 view of what is social media and how do you sell on that. That's the space that Social Coach really fits in. And, we've got like over 5,000 loan officers today, and even more real estate agents and others that are using it. And what we're hearing is that those that really engage with this, they're seeing an increase over 20% in business year over year from doing video content and showing up consistently on social media. And we're hearing that across the board. It's crazy.
Where are most of the people living? What platform? Is it still Instagram? Have they transitioned mostly to TikTok? Where are you seeing the most engagement?
It's funny. We look at these stats all the time, and the number one platform still, believe it or not, is Facebook. Yeah. And which is it's crazy to me because I think most people think of it as like, boomer central, right? And it's like place for the weird aunts to share recipes and stuff. But like loan officers and real estate agents show up consistently on Facebook, and there's such large communities on there. But I think that's like the number one platform where we see the most number of posts. But the highest converting platform where we hear most people get business from is Instagram. And then TikTok's still a growing segment, and it's definitely skews a lot younger. So if your market really is first-time home buyers or younger generation buyers, that's the place where you definitely you can totally clean up.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a good thing about if you do skew younger. Authenticity matters and does show up when you are doing on social media, right? And so, you see these social media posts, it's like, selling reverse mortgage on TikTok or whatever it might be, and they're trying to be all hip and young. It just doesn't work, right? And I always said, listen, if you're going to connect with somebody on social media and they love cats, clearly you can tell that they love cats. don't go in if you don't like cats and say, oh my God, I'm such a big fan of cats, right? It will show up eventually at some point, right? It does.
Yeah.
Your true colors do come out in social media.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, let me talk about reverse mortgage point, because I think it's a really interesting one. And I actually hear this a lot, and it's knowing your audience really well about what kind of content you're going to post where. And so if you're targeting reverse mortgages and you have a big following on TikTok, if you want to sell a reverse mortgage, you just have to think, okay, I can target younger people to talk about how to talk to their parents or aunts, uncles, or grandparents about a reverse mortgage.
Right.
So it's not necessarily talking about reverse mortgages is bad. Don't talk directly to someone who's going to get a reverse mortgage, but someone who can refer you to their parents for a reverse mortgage.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Talk to me about some success stories. You have an example of anyone who has gone from start to finish, who social media resistant to now is the star of the show and has captured leads, and is capturing leads is one thing, turning that into dollars is another thing too, as well, right?
Yeah. Let me tell you about my friend Tim Murphy. He's a loan officer with Annie Mac out in he lives in rural Maryland. He lives on a farm. He's an older gentleman, but like not like super old, but like he's older than us, and self-professed old guy is what he says. And he decided one year, that this was 2 years ago, that he was going to go all in on video and show up consistently on social media. And I hear that a lot from people, Matt, is like, they're like, yeah, this is my year. I'm going to do it. It's just like me with the gym, right? Every year I say, I'm totally going to lock in. And then, June comes around, I'm still just, the same guy. Yeah. But, he locked in, and he's like, I'm going to post 2 videos every single week. And he did. And after that year, I caught back up with him on the anniversary and I said, hey, how'd it go this year? He said, Joe, my whole business has been transformed. I posted consistently every week. And at first it was super slow. It took me 3 to 4 months to see anything, but I started getting a lead a month. And then I started getting multiple leads. He said, now after a year, I'm consistent, looking back 3 to 4 months and now, into this next year, he's closing, not just getting leads, but closing 2 to 3 additional leads that he gets every single month directly from social media.
That's amazing. And you've hit on a word, and you're probably using it pretty strategically: consistency. Is that the biggest failure that you see with people that get into this? Like, they're like, hey, I'm going to be gung ho about it for the first couple of weeks or couple of months, and then I just kind of just lose focus on it, and it's not repeating on a regular basis. Is that what you see?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're trained in the mortgage business to look for immediate results and ROI, right? We love that. Yeah. If I'm going to send out these flyers, I want to get X number of phone calls, or if I'm going to buy this lead, or spend this money on these ads, or leads, I want immediate results. And social media is not an immediate results business. It does take consistency. And, but you have to show up, and it takes a couple months to build and ramp to that. But once you ramp up and you're there and you're consistent, the results are way more than you can get from anything else. And I've seen so many, I gave you one example, but I've got hundreds of them. And this is people who really make this part of their business. It's not just a marketing avenue. It's a sales strategy, right? And I think that's the thing that we need to flip in our minds. It's not just check the box, I did my social media. It's the same thing that we used to do back in the day. I'm going to go take this number of people golfing this week. I'm going to make this number of phone calls. I'm going to do this, these things. And I know my sales manager is going to tell me, did you do these? I'm going to report back on it.
Well, it's the new version of a milk route, essentially, right? I used that when I was an outside salesperson, 25 years ago. I used to hit up the same 7 offices on Monday and then go to the same 7 offices on Tuesday, right? I had a milk route that I did. This is part of the new milk route that you're seeing. I do want to kind of focus on the non-del, and I know we're a little bit short on time. I do want to get you out of here on time. But the non-del side, where I see this being advantageous is when people move from that broker to banker space, they want to build a brand, right? And this, to me, is an amazing opportunity to build out a brand and to have the support behind it with what you guys are doing over there at Social Coach. I mean, can you just Have you seen anyone take their, hey, I have this vision and now to have a brand that they're going out with on a regular basis?
Yeah, totally. And I think this is what's really cool about, building a company and going to that non-del space and like growing your business is it's a twofold aspect, right? You want to build your company's brand, and you also want to build those individual brands. I think that's the thing of growing companies is sometimes when you grow a company, you think, oh, my corporate brand is the most important thing, right?
Right.
And it's not. The most important thing is all the loan officers that work for you, their name is on the back of the jersey, right? Yeah. They might be showing up in your team colors, but it's their name on the back of the jersey, and they're the ones that have those relationships. So as you're growing that business and you're hiring more people and you're trying to expand your team, you need to think really long and hard about how am I supporting my team in their marketing efforts, but allowing them to still be themselves. And by the way, making sure that they're staying compliant. So they're not going to get themselves or my growing business in trouble, right? Because our, CFPB may be, under this administration, may be less interested in what you're saying, but those state auditors and examiners are more interested in what's going on. So we're hearing a lot.
That's a really excellent point. You got to have the checks and balances to make sure you don't have someone out there going rogue with, oh, we do stated income FHA to 100%, right? Like you can't have someone's logo thrown on it like that if you got someone out there saying the wrong things. How are you guys supporting and protecting that?
Yeah, so we have a built-in compliance filter to all the posts that go out. And so each company is able to set their version of what they think is allowed or not allowed. And we look at images. We OCR scrape those images. We look at the captions that are written, but we also even transcribe what's being spoken and pit that against their specific rules and regulations and make sure that everything that goes out is compliant based on their appetite for risk.
That's fantastic because I started off doing a little bit of social media, just kind of rogue. In my head, I'm like, I'm never going to put my company at risk. And then a couple times I said something into our marketing department, like, you can't say that. I'm like, thank God I flew that past you guys. All right. I know you're short on time. We're going to get you out of here on this. How do people get in touch with you? What's the website? Where do they go from next?
Yeah, you can check out www.socialcoach.io or shoot me an email, joe@socialcoach.io. We'd be happy to chat anytime.
Awesome. All right. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt. And thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks for tuning into the Non-Del Influencers podcast, powered by First Funding. For more resources and episodes, visit nondelinfluencers.com.